man.
And it's all money.
Yeah.
It's all money.
But in all seriousness, Kawhi, he tries to tone his game down a lot when Paul George is out there because he has to let him do his thing. But when Paul George isn't there, he's able to get to his spots. We call him Robot Jordan because he gets to his spots and he fades away similar to Mike. And so when you look at what he does, he's improved his game so much. He's one of these guys that when he first came into the league, I could have never envisioned this for him because he was a defensive player. This should be like every young player comes to the league like, man, if I work on my game, I can get a whole lot better because Kawhi was a defensive player. Now he's a guy who you can't stop his offense. And every year it seems like he added something more to his game. Came into the league, couldn't shoot, added the three-point shot, then the mid-range jumper, then his handles improved, the post game improved. So right now there's so many different layers to his game. I don't really know how you stop him because he can score from all three levels, and he's an excellent free throw shooter.
It's a great question, and we have a defensive specialist here to help us answer that question.
How do you shut down Robot Jordan?
Well, you can't shut down Robot Jordan right now because of the simple fact that you can't put your hands on him or nothing like that. See, and then teams do not double. That's a problem for me. They do not double. I mean, I watched the game the other day with Giannis. They let a guy that was 3 or 4 inches shorter than him guard him one-on-one on 4 consecutive plays, and he scored on 4 consecutive plays. That's not going to happen. With this kid here, it's the same way. He's too strong, he's too skilled, and he's too good for you to just play him one-on-one. If you play him one-on-one, he's going to kill you. He got the pump fake, he got the ball, he's got the back to the basket, he's got the three-point shot, and he can drive you. And when he gets to the bucket, he gets fouled. He's got a mid-range game that's unreal, and that's just a problem for a guy like this if you don't double him.
Yep.
You do not double him or you don't make it bring the ball out, take the ball out of his hand, he's a problem. What people are doing now to Harden is taking the ball out of his hand, and he's being ineffective. They have to learn that with this kid right here, or he's going to keep averaging 36. Because I say it like you say, when Paul George comes back, I think they play buddy ball. You get it for this quarter, I get it for that quarter. It's just the same with Houston down there. You did it one time, I get it one time. You can't play basketball like that.
Right.
I think you have to play basketball like the Lakers do. When you get the ball in LeBron's hand, if you on, I'm on. If you're not, whatever. I'll get it to you when I can get it to you, but we're not going to take a span where you shoot all the balls all the time. We're going to shoot it together. And that's what I think what Paul George and Kawhi has to start doing when they get back healthy in the second part of the season so they can get a better rhythm. Because he is better by himself. And I think Paul George is better by himself, but they're going to have to get it to work out because they're going to want to win a championship. If that's going to happen, I think they're going to have to just go to Kawhi. Let Paul George be that guy who can sit there and you can be my second scorer, and then it'll happen like that.
But I think that's the role that Paul George is best suited for. We know Paul George is a stud. He's a dog. Well, I'm not saying that he's not an elite player in this league, but I think that it fits in. The team works better the way you said it. If Kawhi is Batman, Paul George is Robin,
right,
and then you let Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell fit in and do what they do.
Be the Joker.
Yeah, they got to team up with Batman and Robin. Somebody can be Alfred.
Okay.
Good one.
That'll work.
But the way you get it done simply.
Catwoman.
What?
I mean Batwoman.
No, don't nobody want. Hey, man, you're killing my analogy, all right? GP, I had a good thing going. You stepped all over it.
The butler, he cleans up messes. Somebody like Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, exactly. But Montrezl Harrell, like those guys, they do a great job inside, and they're part of the reason why you can't double Kawhi.
Yes.
Because if you double Kawhi, well, he's kicking out to a Lou Williams. He's kicking out to guys that can shoot the basketball. So if you have shooters out there, it makes it hard to double team, and that's why Kawhi is playing at a high level because, first of all, he's a great player. The spacing is great. Doc Rivers puts him in the perfect position to be successful as well.
Yep.
Can't wait to see it. This is going to be a good one tonight. It's the only game in the NBA, so you've got no choice but to stay
Hey, man, next time I start talking about Batman, you just get out my way.
Hey, is this a possible X Factor? Possible X Factor?
It's a possibility, man. That's a big body. Boban can come out there and have a big half or two.
And you can't guard him in the inside like this. Look. And he's got a nice touch. He got a nice touch.
And he can act too. He was good in John Wick.
Yeah. Of course.
A warm up. We'll be right back.
You said John.
It's center court. Lock it in. Don't leave us. You can stick with us all night. The coverage will continue at 8 p.m. with the Auto Trader pregame show. That's immediately following us here on The Warm Up. All right, we're so glad you guys are here. I'm Stephanie Reddy. Gary Payton's here. Brendan Haywood is here, and we've got something for you. Brendan Haywood is going to share with us his top 5 teams in the NBA.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I gotta compliment Stephanie on don't even read a prompter and hit that stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're the best.
That's right. That's
Thanks,
right.
Gary.
You're pretty good. You're good.
What a good teammate.
You're good.
And she's going to help me with these top 5 teams. We're going.
Yes.
We're
So
going.
why they giving you a top 5?
Hey.
Well,
Where was I at?
You were in New
That's
York.
because you weren't at the meeting.
Out
Now,
of town.
that's why I get it. You want a top 5 show for the meeting.
Nah, my bad. My bad.
But now,
right,
GP,
Brendan.
this is my top 5 right now. Not my top 5 for the full season, but just right now. Who's playing
starting
well right
Right
now?
now. Okay, tell me, because I
Starting
was
with
just
number 5.
Number 5, we have the Toronto Raptors. This team has won 4 games in a row. They're finally getting healthy. Spicy P, Pascal Siakam is back. He has played incredible basketball. They got Van Vliet back. I just love how this team plays. They have championship pedigree. Serge Ibaka filled in excellently when he had to start for Marc Gasol. And now that they have all their pieces back, I think they are a force to be reckoned with. And Pascal Siakam has proven that he is able to take the step up from role player to superstar. Done a great job this season.
I'm gonna see what your next 4 is.
Okay, all right.
Okay, let's see.
Ready?
Let's do that.
Number 4.
Number 4, the Denver Nuggets. This young team is probably the most slept-on team in the league. All they do is last year they finished number 2 in the standings. This year they're right back up there. They bounce between 2 and 3 all the time, but they have a good young team. They're stepping their game up right now. I think the Joker was a little out of shape to start the season off, but guess what? He's played his way into shape. As he's played better, this team has been better. And there's an X factor. There's a kid, Michael Porter Jr.,
Yes.
who has been coming off the bench, giving them excellent production. This guy would have been a top 3 selection had he not hurt his back in college. So right now, I think as he's playing better, this team is also playing better. Watch out for the Denver Nuggets.
And they got a diamond in the rough with Porter. You know, when he slept that far. I think this team is really good because both of them are playing very well, him and the Joker, because they are hurt. Murray and a lot of other guys. They're going to have to make a decision on who they're going to trade and who they're going to get rid of because these guys have a lot of pieces, but they are trying to put it together now.
All right, now Brendan Haywood, your 3rd best team.
Number 3, help me out there, Steph. That's right, the Los Angeles Clippers. We know what this team is. They're a very dynamic team. They have Robot Jordan and Kawhi Leonard, but they also have that guy right there, Lou Williams. They have Paul George. They have so many guys that are two-way players, Montrezl Harrell. You have Pat Beverly. So I love the fact that this team can win in a bunch of different styles. They can beat you in an offensive game or a defensive game. The reason that I have them at number 3 and not a little higher up is because of continuity. Earlier in the season, we had the low management situation. Right now, Paul George a little banged up. When this team gets a chance to be together for about 15 to 20 strong games, they could possibly surge up my list. But right now, I got them at number 3. You rolling with that, G?
I'm not going to ride with you on that one. I think that they should be flipped to number 2.
Right, we talking about right now?
Right now, I think so, because when I looked at the Lakers yesterday, and when they played, and the energy that they came out with Boston, I don't like that energy. You know, when
Did you see the other 9 games before that?
I did, but when AD came back, when you're playing against a top elite team like the Boston Celtics and thing, you have to win against them games. I get they're playing very well against under 500 teams, but when you play a Boston team that was been struggling and up and down, and then all of a sudden you bring your other superstar back and he doesn't get involved with the game, and then your star, LeBron, doesn't get involved with the game, it doesn't work for me. That's not a team that's really going to right now. I think they're going to be okay, but you can't do that to go in Boston and lay an egg like they did yesterday.
Well, I'm very curious to see who Brendan Haywood has chosen
listen,
for his number 2 team.
I disagree with GP. We argue and we butt heads a lot, but number 2, I have the Los Angeles Lakers.
See, I would have flipped them.
Yeah,
I would have had them flip.
I can't flip them, GP, because guess what? The Lakers are the best team in the Western Conference right now. Before they lost that game against Boston,
record-wise,
before they lost that game against Boston, you're talking about they had won, I think, 9 or 10 games in a row. LeBron James, possibly the MVP. They've won games where LeBron James and Anthony Davis didn't play. They've won a bunch of games with Anthony Davis out. This team brings a lot of versatility, and I love their defense. Inside, they have bigs that are out there blocking shots. JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, unsung heroes for this team. They really anchor the paint. And we know what Anthony Davis does from a defensive standpoint as well. I like the offense because defense travels, and their defense right now is on the East Coast. And watch what they do to the Knicks in Brooklyn these next couple of nights.
Well, the Knicks is a team that's down anyway. They should beat this team. But I just say when they match up, these two teams match up, this team is already dominant because their players come to play. And I say that. And I can't get it when you have McGee and Dwight Howard. They're playing very well. But then when your superstar, when the defense breaks down, he's looking at people and looking at them bad. I can't get that. I don't do that. I wouldn't want that to happen. And I think the guy, Kawhi, is that one factor that's going to put him over the top because he plays very well against LeBron all the time.
And I'm
still saying LeBron to me is the best basketball player. I still say that. But I say this kid right here and their team is a little bit, I don't know how they're going to match up together if they get together in a series. But I think this team right here has the most upside because they got the most players that can score the basketball.
Check this out. You're doing a lot of talking. We're going to get the game.
Hey, man, go on.
We're going to do
You always want to talk, man. I'm going to turn my back.
We're going to bring GP's list. We're going to do GP's list next week. This is my list in number one.
It is. But before we get to that, I just have to tell you, because our crack stat guy, Justin, helped us out with this. To Gary's point, the Lakers are 0-5 against the Bucks, Clippers, Raptors, and Celtics.
Oh, I know.
This season.
I wasn't going to say that because I didn't want to talk and get his top 5 list messed
Just to
up.
keep us all honest
Hey, Justin,
here.
stop trying to make my list look bad.
Hey, Justin, I knew you was going to come with it.
Hey, listen, stop trying to confuse the fans with the stats.
This is Brendan Haywood's list.
Number one, the Milwaukee Bucks. When you look at what they're doing, they have possibly a guy that I think is going to be the MVP in Giannis. They're one of the top teams in offensive and defensive efficiency. They have a lock on the Eastern Conference. I mean a lock. No one in the East is even close to these guys. I thought Philly might be able to compete, but I can't see it. And when you look at how Giannis is playing, he's playing even better than he played last year. I thought maybe the loss of Malcolm Brogdon might slow this team down. And Malcolm Brogdon is a great player. He's doing great in Indiana, but it hasn't slowed the Pacers down at all. Bledsoe has played well as of late. He's had a couple of really good games, but this team is all about the Greek Freak. They're all about Chris Middleton as well. He comes in, gives them a secondary score. But when you watch this team, offensively, the ball moves around a lot. Greek Freak gets guys involved. Defensively, everybody knows their role. And when you have a team that can be top 5 in offensive and defensive efficiency, you're looking at a very, very good ball club. And then they have a guy that's going to be the MVP again. You heard it here first, GP. Even you can't argue with this team number one right now.
I can't argue with this at all. I think this is the best basketball team in basketball. I think the reason they're the best team in basketball because they all know their role. That's the thing that they have. They know they have a superstar. And they know they have a second Robin. And the second Robin is playing very well in Middleton. He's playing. And then all the other guys come along. The Bledsoes, the Hills, they all come along. The Lopez's, they come along. They come with the territory. Even they got the shooter.
Ilyasova?
Yeah, they got him playing the way they're supposed to play. And even when Greek the Freak doesn't play, they still play the same type of basketball, and they win basketball games without him. So this is a team that I think is well put together. They are all on the same page, and they know that they can win basketball games without their star. And when he comes, it just makes it even better because they start winning by 15, 16, 17 points.
Right.
And when they start blowing people out, they get rest. They bring the other guys in who can get there and show them what they're going to do for them in the playoffs if anybody gets in foul trouble.
Right.
And they beat everybody. Right. They don't just beat the under 500. They beat the plus 500s. So this is a basketball team that I think is going to be really high and difficult to beat. And I think they got a good chance to win the championship.
But basically, overall, you like my list. You basically would just
I love your list.
I love your list.
I'll
just flip-flop these two right now. I would. That's all I would. It's a great list because these are the top 5. The Heat, I think, should be in here somewhere. They could be probably here because they're playing very good basketball too. That young team,
very impressive.
19-1 at home. I cannot tell them that they shouldn't be here.
But the Heat gonna have to do better on the road. That young team struggles on the road.
Yeah, they do.
When they play better on the road, I give them my top 5. But we'll do GP's list next week.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll do GP's list next week.
It is the B list, top 5 teams.
That's right.
We're gonna have
goodness.
a glove list.
Look look at the monitor. Thank you,
Vanna
guys.
Ready, I see you,
Hey,
Vanna.
Vanna White had a long career and it's still going.
And she's
so
still doing her
kudos
thing.
to that. And she's hosting now too, by the way.
Yeah.
Did
Lou
that make me
Williams.
Pat say Jack?
No, absolutely not.
Man, you are so disrespectful.
Lou Williams coming off the bench.
I'm making sure
getting
you don't get no
buckets.
list next week.
Last game, he had 32 points.
We're going to do the Haywood list one more game.